Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rise. We're back here at Wesley Chapel Toyota, and guess what? If you like special editions, I have maybe the right one that's perfect for you. This is a 2021 Toyota Corolla SE trim, but this is a Nightshade edition. But before we get into this special edition of the Corolla, let's talk about what's going on here. Toyota Corolla, it's been around since 1966, if you could believe that. It did not come to our shores here in the United States until 1968. But boy, oh boy, did this car make a splash and really change the name of the game in the auto industry. This was one of those early Japanese cars that was very small in size, but really big on fuel savings and also on reliability. Now, fast forward to 2021, Corolla's got some makeovers over the years. This one looking aggressive, but with the Nightshade Edition, what they decided to do is bring some special touches to the SE trim on the exterior and the interior to really make it be a standout, even if you don't want to go higher trim levels. So what I want to find out is this Corolla the one to get with the Nightshade Edition trim, or should you be looking maybe at a Civic from Honda, or even a Mazda 3, or the new Hyundai Elantra? Let's go ahead and find out. Right off the bat, I'm digging the silver on our Nightshade because it's going to allow you to really see the Nightshade black accent trim pieces a lot more effectively. Starting at the front of the business, we have LED headlights, LED daytime running lamps. That's standard across all the trim levels on the Toyota Corolla. And I really think with this generation, they went super aggressive. I love how far the headlight housing intersects into the center section of the front fascia. There's that LED daytime running lamp and the LED headlight that's illuminated for you. Now, as you work your way down, like I said, I was talking about aggression. On the Nightshade, up front, a lot of black trim. What I do love are the lower lighting lamps here. That's gonna be LED as well. Even the way they did this lower lip extension, the way it's got the two different levels. The one thing you know I'm gonna zonk are the fake vents. Just leave it smooth. Don't even make it look like a vent. Or what they could have done is maybe put some horizontal pieces into that section and then had a functional air curtain. That would have still looked aggressive, would have looked clean, but it would have also had some functionality. But like I said, Nightshade Edition, you're gonna get those black accent pieces at the front end of the business. When we come across that big, wide, open grille area, this is all functional. The raised area, I can understand why this is just gloss black. You really can't do much with that. I think if it was silver, it would make the front end of the car look too heavy, but definitely aggressive, definitely sporty. That lower extension looks really clean, especially with the way that they designed it to integrate perfectly into that open grille mouth. On the Nightshade Edition, beside the black accents, you are getting a blacked out badge kit on it. So you have your blacked out Toyota badge, and on the silver, it pops perfectly. Now, when we get up onto that hood, real simple. You got your body lines pick up, go onto the hood, and then they're gonna V off towards the A-pillar. Other than that, looks really sleek. Now, when we come around the bend, the great news is the Nightshade Edition is not just about some blacked out trim and a blacked out Toyota badge. You're actually getting unique wheels. So these are those gloss black wheels, 18-inch split spoke design, 225 on the width, 40 series sidewall. And like I said, I think the gloss black with the silver really pops. I know a lot of people are saying that black wheels are being overplayed or just played out totally in the auto industry. And hey, you may be right, but it looks really good on this silver for sure. And you'll notice on the front portion of the fender how that front fascia extends out with the gloss black. And that is the one thing. There's a lot of gloss black. Looks good brand new. It's going to be interesting to see 5 years down the road just how good that gloss black still looks. Now, as we go into the fender, you're going to get painted. This isn't gloss black. This is a metallic black paint on the mirror caps, part of the Nightshade Edition. You have your turn signals built in. I like the way they just kept it flat black, kept that all flat black, metallic painted door handles. That lower sill extension really drops down nicely, and it gives it that overall extra sporty look to it. Keep working our way towards the rear. I kind of am feeling like they should have made this glass instead of just a flat black plastic. I need to think about it a little bit longer. So right now I'm going to just give it a half zonk because we don't have enough time for me to just sit here and ponder what this rear pillar should be all about. But as we come to the rear of the vehicle, you're gonna get this nice metallic painted trunklet spoiler, nothing too crazy, but just enough. There's another blacked out Toyota badge. And then of course, if we have the blacked out Toyota badge, we drop down, you have your Corolla badge that is blacked out as well. Simple on the taillight design. It would have been nice to have some LED taillights, but as we kind of drop down closer to the ground here, you can see the gloss black rear diffuser and more of that fake vent. I don't, why do this? I don't even know if it even looks good, let alone it's not even functional. What I do like is you do have a twin exhaust outlet on the passenger side. They're staggered. So this one actually comes back a little bit further than the outside one, just to give it an extra sporty look. And of course, if all the badges are blacked out, your SE trim badge is gonna be blacked out as well. But while we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering our Nightshade Edition Corolla. All right, guys, we got the hood popped open. You do have a prop rod. The great news is it is over to the passenger side, and this is an SE trim, so I'm not gonna zonk it. Underneath the hood, no engine cover. I personally like that. I think some people may look at that and say, oh my God, all those wires and hoses and stuff, but hey, that's what an engine of today looks like. So what you're looking at is a naturally aspirated 2-liter inline 4. It's 169 horsepower, 151 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a CVT, which I am gonna zonk that, but the great news is Toyota does offer a 6-speed manual, so thank you, Toyota, for doing that. With the CVT, 0 to 60 in about 7.3 seconds. Top speed is 118 miles an hour. The car weighs 3,150 pounds. Here's where you're really gonna win. MPGs, 29 in the city, 36 on the highway. And one thing I just wanna mention is that there is a large, massive open area at the firewall, because guess what? We are gonna be getting that turbocharged Toyota Corolla GR that we've been waiting for. Not all-wheel drive, but hey, I'll take it for right now, and I'm looking forward to it. But you know what? We got this one. Let's get to the interior, see what the SE trim is bringing, because I want to take this one for a spin. All right, guys, we're in this Corolla SE Nightshade Edition. I know you're saying, well, Joe, I really like this compact car. It has a sporty look to it. It gets great fuel economy. How much is this particular one? Because I'm really curious. MSRP, the way that this one is optioned, is right around $25,000. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panel. So door panel, super clean, all soft material. I actually like the dark material. Toyota sometimes brings in a beige color or an off-white. I'm glad it's just all black. You do have a little bit of blue stitching. That's part of the Nightshade package, just to let you know that, hey, you got something a little different. Armrest is super soft. Door pocket, you're gonna be able to put a bottle of Coca-Cola and a Whopper, maybe a Big Mac, but that would be pushing it. Other than that, simple on the door design. When we get to the dash, same soft touch material, both top and in the middle, which is great. I like the silver trim. You're gonna get that 8-inch infotainment system, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Is it a touchscreen? Of course. And you have your selection buttons there, easy to get into the different features, which is really nice. Some people, I know, do not like this style of infotainment, but they do have it set up perfectly for you to be able to see it and use it. I throw it into reverse. There's our backup camera, no trajectory, which is a bummer, but it does take up all 8 inches. Why have 8 inches if you're not gonna use all 8 inches? So that's good. Put it back into park. They integrate the AC vents nicely. You have your standard AC controls. Nice feel and touch to them. You got your temperature switch here and your blower fan knob. As we drop down, you do have a massive cubby for Twinkies, which you could easily put 4 Twinkies in here and they're not gonna fall out, which is great. One thing I wanna do is I'm actually gonna turn the car off, because with the SE trim, you do get a key ignition. So it's not push button start. The funny thing is I actually like this key fob better than your standard Toyota key fob. It actually has a little bit more weight to it and looks pretty good. I mean, it's a little thick, but other than that, and then if somebody's gonna attack you, you got your switchblade. Get them. But we just put that right back, and look, kids, this is how we used to start up cars. Like that. You do have your shifter for your CVT transmission. The interesting thing is that it's technically a hybrid transmission, because you have first gear is an actual gear. The rest of the system are the CVT belts. You do have a sport mode button, so when you're feeling a little you know, like you want to zip a little quicker, you hit that sport button. Some gloss black, nothing too crazy. 2 cup holders, nice high armrest. Too bad it's as hard as Plymouth Rock. So if you want to know what the Pilgrims felt like when they got off the Mayflower, this is what you want to touch. Open this up, you have a USB and a 12 volt. And if you stand your Twinkies up, you could easily get 6 in there without busting cream anywhere. Seats, Nightshade Edition, you're getting the blue trim, the stitching, nice quality material. And I like the way it's got some different pattern to it to kind of spruce it up. Manual seat controls for the passenger and the driver, but that's okay. SE trim, no sunroof, but plenty of headroom. But why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this Corolla SE Nightshade. All right, guys, business time. There's nothing really to show when it comes to seat controls. You just have your manual seat controls, nothing electric, like I said. I got plenty of room, though. Oh, wait, hold on a second. My phone's ringing. Hello? Yes? Oh, I did? Oh, and yeah, you guys did do the work, and I didn't talk about it. Okay. All right. Thanks. That was my buddy Zach over at Toyota USA. I forgot to tell you that there's actually 2 USBs underneath the dash extension here for you and your passenger. And what's silly is that they still have the USB tag that you're supposed to remove hanging there, and I totally forgot to point that out. So shame on me. Sorry, Zach. But let's talk more about what's going on here. You're going to get same steering wheel as any other Corolla. That's something that Toyota does to make you feel like you know what you're doing when you get in. And you really do understand the layout of the buttons and the switches. You do have plastic paddles to go through simulated gears in that CVT transmission. And then the dash, it doesn't get any more straightforward than that. You have an analog tach, large analog speedometer in the center, and then you have a small little digital display on the right hand side. The great news is you are going to get your Toyota sensing technology to keep you safe, and it's just easy to read at a quick glance. But why don't we get to the back seat, see how much room a compact car really has, and then we're taking this for a spin. All right, guys, we're in this compact Corolla. Gone are the days where you really had to sacrifice your rear passenger seat space, and as you can see, I didn't shrink any from the business side of things, and I still got plenty of room back here. Now on the SE trim, you don't have a pocket on the back of the driver's seat. You do have a pocket on the back of the passenger seat. Here's my advice. If you have a younger brother or sister, I would get this seat first, and then if they have a bunch of stuff and they have nowhere to put it, then you could have them pay you some of their allowance to use your pocket. That's a little bit of smart thinking from me to you. I'm the oldest of 6 kids, so I used to do that all the time. Made a lot of money. It was great. In this center area, there's no rear AC, but you do have a nice cubby. You could easily put some Now and Laters, some Jolly Ranchers, or even some Atomic Fireballs. That's another fun game to play with your brothers and sisters, especially those that are younger that don't know about Atomic Fireballs. Give it to them and have them, you know, put it in their mouth and eat it, and you'll get to see the tears just, well, you know, swell up in their eyes as their mouth is on fire. You do have 2 USBs, which are great. So they did bring some technology, some connectivity, even though this is an SE trim. And like I was saying, you know, they brought the same fabric, the blue stitching, and on an SE trim, we do have an armrest, which is mighty soft with 2 cup holders. But why don't we get to the trunk, because I want to go for a drive. All right, guys, we're in the 2021 Corolla SE Nightshade Edition. And you know what? It's unbelievable just how comfortable this car is. Even with it being a compact, and it's not like an XLE trim, very, very comfortable. The seats are supportive, but just allow you that that feeling so that you could go for a longer drive and it's not gonna beat you up, especially a road trip. But steering has a good feeling. It's a little lighter compared to, say, a Honda Civic or a Mazda 3, but still feels good. I like the way it's got a leather wrap steering wheel rather than the rubber style steering wheels. I do have it in sport mode, and under normal driving conditions, you're not really feeling any of the negative side effects of having a CVT transmission. Wind noise is pretty low considering the competition, and just visibility is really great as well. And it's nice to see compact sedans still being produced, because not everybody wants any type of CUV or SUV. But let's go ahead and do a little acceleration test here. I'm gonna come to a stop. I'm gonna leave it in automatic mode. We're not going to shift with the paddles or anything right now, but on throttle, here we go. So the great news is with that naturally aspirated power, torque delivery is very linear. You're obviously not waiting for any kind of boost or anything like that. The CVT though, it just, I don't know, it behaves very uniquely that doesn't really jive with me very well. I like more of a traditional, conventional automatic transmission. But brakes feel good. And the infotainment system, I think at first you're probably not going to like it if you don't like iPad style, but as you're driving it, it's real easy to get to, it's real easy to see, so that's good news. And as we get on the highway here, get up to speed with those simulated shifts taking place. So right now we're doing 60 miles an hour and we're at 3,000. It's dropping a little bit more, 2,500 RPM. It's just, for me, not having that clear engagement of gears that you would have in a traditional transmission makes the CVT feel just a little sloppy in its transitioning as you're driving. But on throttle, so definitely they did a decent job with the simulated shifting. As we're getting faster, the wind noise is definitely picking up, but still super smooth. Ride is very nice. The ride quality is actually great. I don't know if you heard the chime. That was the lane keep assist, so you're getting all that Toyota sensing technology, which is great. And the brakes work really, really well. Super smooth. Storage areas are plentiful in here. You do have the connectivity, which is wonderful as well. And you do have Apple CarPlay and whatnot. So I think for the price point, to have the special exterior touches really kind of makes sense in this vehicle. Put it into manual shift mode. We're going to use the paddles. I'm making a U-turn here. On throttle, here we go. So this is manual, simulated third, fourth. So actually does increase the overall driving experience using the paddles. I'm going to go ahead and put it back over into drive. You do have a gear indicator to let you know what simulated gear you're in. But overall, very, very smooth with the transition of, you know, simulated shifting action. But like I said, I think my favorite part about this car is, of course, the touches that the Nightshade trim brings, but just the great fuel economy that you're getting out of this vehicle, and it rides like it's a larger car. Definitely feels way more comfortable than you're going to think a compact car can feel. And the visibility is really wonderful in this thing. Let's see as we go into this left-hand turn here. Obviously a little bit of body roll, but this isn't the sporty trim. If you want sport, you go XSE. Pretty soon we'll have the GR. If you want more sport, they have the Apex trim. So lots of different ways to have your Corolla, and that makes sense to me to fit many different lifestyles, driving types, all that good stuff. But we're going to get back to Toyota Wesley Chapel and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, been another great day here at Wesley Chapel Toyota. I definitely got to thank Ness, Scooter, the whole crew, getting us access to this 2021 Corolla SE trim with the Nightshade package. I really think it's perfect. If you don't want to go higher up the trim levels, getting the SE, but adding this Nightshade package really just accentuates the exterior that makes it stand out from the rest of not only the Corolla crowd, but also the compact car crowd. Having naturally aspirated power is never a bad thing, especially when it comes to that great Toyota reliability. And this is one you got to add to your list if you're looking for some new compact sedan. But if you want to keep seeing these on Rady's Rides, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you in the channel, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Rady's Ride merch. Got to give it up to the queen of the camera. She's out here fighting Mother Nature. You know what? That wind is blowing hard. but Lori is pushing back and getting all the angles for you. So thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.